What's going on? What do you mean? Oh, it's recording on my laptop computer. Yeah, I thought I had it recording on my laptop. But whatever. Okay, whatever. Yeah, the first 15 minutes was trash anyways. Okay, so how do you set it up? You make an account, it's free. You create a workspace. My workspace is called probably like Better Call Saul Wiki or something. Let's see. You can So you get the API key just here in this drop down settings, API keys. Um, and then you literally just like copy and paste this and like you put it in in a .env file. I'm using React, and in React every environment variable has to start with React app. Oh, this is way too small. Yeah, in React, every environment variable has to start with like React underscore app. Uh, already have it running. Let's see. So since Contentful is like uh it's access to be an API, you can use it in Postman, which I think you guys used like last week. Oh no, why isn't Postman working? Whatever. So I guess this is just like a URL that you would use, but let's see, define model. So this project only has like one data model. Like in a project you define data models, just like how in a traditional database, like a NoSQL database, you would probably like set up a model for your content. So I only have one. It's article. What's in that? There's content, which is rich text. There's title, which is short text. There's description, short text, and a thumbnail, which is just an image. Um, Something really powerful about Contentful is that you can literally just like embed other Contentful objects in rich text and then write like a function in React to decide how to render that Contentful object. So you can embed like iframes for like YouTube videos or other stuff in like a rich text article. Um, and you can also write like markdown, like there's short text and there's long text. I've also used long text to write like markdown formatting, which you can use a library to convert that into HTML. There's also a library to convert rich text into HTML. Um, all right, let's take a look at this in the how do I open developer tools? Here we go. Okay, where is it? All right, Postman wasn't working, so I have to use like the network tab. Okay, here we go. So basically, Contentful it is returning to me an array of objects, which I have to make this way bigger. It's returning to me an array of objects, and all of the data that I defined is in this fields attribute. So like I defined the title, the description, and the content, and then you get that from like the fields attribute. Um, let's see. And by default, every like contentful object will be able to have tags. Tags can be public or they can be private, but tags are really useful to be able to configure um, like who gets different types of data. Like you could make it so that like your site serves like AT&T customers and like Verizon customers. So you can create like a tag for AT&T and Verizon and like you'll label data, based on those tags. So that's basically how my internship project worked. But yeah, so I guess how we're connecting to Contentful is really easy. It's just like this one function. It's like we import Contentful, we do create clients and we pass in like the name of like the workspace that we're using and then like an access token. And I basically have like two pages here. I have like the page for like the list of all the articles, which is like the home page. And then when there's like all of these cards, so that's also a component. And then when you click on one, it takes you to like the page that shows you the details for all of that for like an entire article. Um, so I'll just show like how to make an article. Like if we want to make an article, like a lore article. Sorry. Okay, let's ask ChatGPT to write an article about this. Okay, it's hard to type with one hand. Please write an article to explain why kid named Finger ate Kim Wexler. Are you serious? Okay. All right, guys. This this is our article. All right, that's our article. We'll copy that. That's our title. Uh, I'll even add like an image of Lalo, and then that's our description. High quality stuff. AI is really something. All right, let's go back to the home page, and it'll probably show up. Why isn't it loading? Did I just break it? There's no reason for it to not be loading. Bro. Inspect console. Can't access this. Bro, I cannot believe this. I added an article and it just stopped working. There's no way. I'm sure I could fix it with like one line of code, but let's see. Articles page line 42. All right. We're no longer gonna filter by tag. This is like the worst website, I swear to God. Yeah. Okay. That's really unfortunate. But yeah, okay. So I have like two queries here. Okay. I guess it's hard to demo, but on like the homepage, I had a query to get like basically the list of all of the articles. But I wasn't fetching any of the actual content, like the rich text, because that's really just superfluous. Like you really won't need it unless you actually click on an article. And you can actually specify like which uh which fields you want to get. Articles page. Yeah. So here I literally just describe like which fields I want to get. I get the title, I get the thumbnail, and I get the description. I don't get the content because you don't need that until you click on, the actual article. And then once that's done, it makes another query to actually get the content. Um, so it's just to save like a little bit of data. But I also implemented pagination, which, that's also hard to show since it stops working. Um, Searching for articles. Yeah, the Contentful API is like really powerful. Like you can search based on tags. There's literally just like a search property. You can search like Salamanca, and it'll return all of the articles that have the word Salamanca in like the title, the description, the like any of the fields, it'll search for Salamanca. So it's really powerful because if you were using like an actual SQL database, you would actually have to write all of that logic. So okay, yeah. Uh, so that's basically how I just implemented like pagination. Like I limited each page to like 5 articles, and then like if you're on the first page, then you skip 0. If you're on the second page, you skip 5. If you're on the third page, then you skip 10. That's just basically how pagination is done. All right. I'm sorry the website stops working, but any questions just based on that? Yeah. It's no, it doesn't keep it alive. I'm pretty sure it's just like a REST API. All right. Anyone else? What? No, that's it's like Mario and Luigi. Why is this? Okay. Hopefully that fixes it. Never mind, guys. Okay. I don't know. I I was using this like all day yesterday. I don't know why it stopped working. You know what? I don't know why I didn't try that. That's actually genius. Okay, so how do we delete a published article? First, you have to unpublish it, and then you can delete it. So if it's not published, it's just a draft, and then you can permanently delete it. Why? Why did that one article just not work? I don't know why. Yeah, so I'm using like you describe the content model in Contentful, and then I'm using TypeScript, so I also describe it here. But I guess this something about this must not be right. And TypeScript is just complaining about it and just not rendering anything. So yeah, now I can actually just show pagination. So like it shows like it shows 5 pages. So and then here we're skipping 5. If we go to the second page, it skips 10. And and then you can just filter by tag. Um, so it's just really powerful. I just assigned a tag to each object here. So like there's like a let's see, there's like a location, a lore, a season, and a character tag. And they're all public. You can have private tags as well. But yes. Any other questions? Ranger. That's a great question. Um, so yeah, caching can actually kind of be I've experienced some caching problems like um I'll like unpublish some content, but like I guess the cache thinks that it's still published. I really don't know what to do about that, to be honest. I guess you can just do like a hard refresh, but I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. Like it's an API and it comes with all the problems that RESTful APIs come with. But wait, was that the end? I don't know. Okay. I did, yeah, I just had like a couple more slides. Like the just like a traditional database, you can have different environments, like a production environment, a dev environment. And there's also two different APIs actually. They're very similar. What I'm using is a content delivery API, but there's also the content preview API. And the content preview API includes exactly the same data, but also unpublished content. So obviously that would just be for devs. Um, but I guess there's also a few, like even though CMSs can be like really powerful, there's a few situations in which you wouldn't want to use them. Like Contentful recommends that you wouldn't use it to store like really sensitive data, um, or like temporary data, or like if someone makes a TikTok or something, you wouldn't store that TikTok on, a CMS. I guess uh it what CMSs are most used for are really just like uh content that would otherwise just be like static data on a website, like the images, but yeah. And it's easy to localize content. That's something that we did in our internship, or my internship, like a single contentful object, like you can configure it so that it gives different data based on like the location where there's different like services or different policies or people speak a different language. So it's really powerful in that sense. Yeah. So as I said, contentful is like it's free, but there are limits. It's based on like API usage. But there's literally like a million queries that you can make before you run over. So it's pretty generous. The storage size, but I don't know, it's probably like 50 gigs or something. Um, and you can have like 5 people in a workspace. So yeah. Maybe you can find other ones that are more generous, but this is at least good enough for like my personal use. Yeah. No. You can all you need is like an email. So I'm actually using like SSDs contentful. Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. All right. Honestly, this presentation didn't go as smoothly as I thought it would, but are there any questions? Yeah. Uh, yeah. So you need two environment variables, one for the workspace and one for the access token. Um, but you're asking like how I you're no, you're asking like how I made production have access to this. Well, I hosted this on Amplify, and on Amplify you can specify environment variables. Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Feedback on CMS. Is it good? Is it bad? Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think I see it as like a higher level database because it has like higher it has you can store larger objects like entire JSON objects for like geolocation, rich text, or like really long strings of data. Uh, all right. Feedback on this presentation, guys. Be honest. Be honest. Jonas's presentation on what? Okay. All right, guys. That means a lot to me. All right. So if you'd like to know a bit more about me, I'm the former involvement officer of SSD. Connect with me on LinkedIn, please. I currently work for the government. Yeah, I don't really like it, so don't ask me for a referral. And yeah, this is also my last SSD presentation. I've probably given like, I don't know, like 20, 25 over the course of the past 4 years. So I don't know. But yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Gonna see app announcements.
All right, and I guess I will kill the recording here.